Serena Williams has been through a lot, but nothing could have prepared them for the moment that made Alexis cry. Their world was turned upside down by a shocking news, leaving them to deal with something much more personal than anyone thought possible. Follow along as we look into the reason for the diagnosis and what it means for their family. How I got from Compton to world champion. Serena Williams went from living on the streets of Compton to becoming one of the best athletes in the world in a truly amazing trip. Not only is her story about tennis, but it's also about family, hard work and getting past obstacles. She wasn't just a great player, she was also a strong person who changed the way sports were played and moved people all over the world. She came into the world on September 26, 1981. She was born in Saginaw, Michigan, but when she was a baby, her family moved to Compton, California. Serena's journey really started in Compton, a neighborhood better known for its problems than its tennis courts. Venus, her older sister, and she trained on public courts that were broken up and in a rough neighborhood. They had bigger plans for them though. When the girls were very little, their dad, Richard Williams, taught them how to play. He had high hopes for his girls, and thought they would do great things. Richard had made a 78-page plan for their tennis careers. Before they even picked up a stick, he read books and watched movies to learn the game. He wasn't good at tennis, but he thought he could teach them how to do well. Oracene Price, their mother, was also very important. She was a steady, helpful presence, and helped with teaching. Richard and Oracene worked hard to give their girls the strength to believe in themselves and learn how to play tennis. The Williams girls worked out every day for hours. Richard made sure they stayed on task and followed the rules. Their dad didn't let them play in as many junior events as other kids did so they wouldn't get too tired. And the stress of being famous at a young age. Serena was already getting a lot of attention when she turned pro at age 14. Venus made the first big move on the tour, but Serena quickly showed she was a force to be reckoned with. That year she made her big break when she won the US Open when you are only 17 years old. Some of the best players in the world lost to her, with Martina Hingis in the final. That win was the start of one of the best careers in the history of sports. Serena's style of play was strong, quick and daring. One of the best serves ever seen in women's tennis was hers. The way she could pace the game, and how tough she was mentally made her stand out. She played and beat every top player from every generation over the years. Her matches with Venus, her sister, and other sisters became some of the most watched in tennis history. Serena's 23 Grand Slam singles wins are one of her most impressive accomplishments. This is the most by any player in the Open era. Margaret Court holds the all-time record with 19. All four of the major events were part of her Grand Slam. There is the US Open, the French Open, the Australian Open, and Roland Garros Open. She won all of these titles more than once, which showed that she could do well on any field, in any weather, and against any player. Serena also won 4 gold medals at the Olympics, 1 in singles and 3 with Venus in pairs. The sisters were almost impossible to beat, and they won gold medals in Sydney, Beijing and London. These Olympic wins made Serena's name even better, and proved that she wasn't just the best in regular events, but also on the biggest stage of international sports. Serena is unique because she was at the top of her game for a long time. Her career lasted more than 20 years, and she always played at the top level. Even when she got hurt, took time off from sports and became a mom, Serena always came back better. In 3 different decades, she won the Grand Slam. The 1990s, 2000s and 2010. Something that not many players in any sport can say. Serena has done a lot for tennis, sports and pop culture that goes beyond the prizes and medals. She broke rules as a black lady in a sport that was mostly played by white people for a long time. The court saw her as strong, stylish, and sure of herself. The clothes she wore, her hair, and the way she acted were all parts of who she was. For young girls, especially girls of color, she showed them that they fit in places they hadn't always seen themselves. She also talked freely about things like racism, body image, and the difference between men and women, using her voice in places other than tennis courts. Behind the scenes, the long hours of practice in Compton, the fierce determination of a father who believed in his girls, and the quiet support of a mother who stood by their side, are just as important to understand as her tennis career itself. She is very good at what she does, but her story also has grit, patience, and a dream that began on a public court, in an area that isn't known for tennis stars. Alexis Ohanian and Serena Williams. Serena Williams is famous all over the world for how strong, passionate, and determined she is on the tennis court. In addition to her fame in sports, she has a loving relationship with her husband, Alexis Ohanian, who has been by her side through life's most important events. Their love story is one of current connections, respect for each other, and unwavering support. A lot of people wouldn't have thought that Serena and Alexis would meet in that way, not because they were friends or because of a famous event. In fact, it took place in 2015 during a quiet time at a hotel in Rome. The event was going on while Serena was there, and Alexis was staying at the same hotel. One morning, they both ended up at the same table outside for breakfast. When they first met, they didn't talk, but finally they did. From that simple meeting, a link began to grow. Serena was in the sports world, and Alexis was in the tech world, but they quickly found things they liked doing together. Alexis Ohanian is a famous tech person but not a tennis player or sport. The website Reddit is one of the largest in the world, and he helped make it. In 2005, he helped get the platform up and running, became the world site it is today, thanks in large part to their work. After selling Reddit, he stayed in the business and tech worlds as an investor and company owner. She also speaks out on important topics like digital freedom, privacy online, and equality, especially for women and people of color in tech. Even though Alexis was successful, he wasn't really into tennis before she met Serena. But as he got to know her, he not only learned more about the sport, he also liked her a lot. They became more and more close, and in December 2016, Alexis asked Serena to marry him in the same hotel in Rome, where they had met the first time. Soon after, in April 2017, Serena told everyone that she was pregnant, and in September of that year, they had their daughter Olympia. The wedding was beautiful and moving, and it took place in New Orleans in November 2017. It felt like a dream when the wedding happened. It had lots of love and laughter, and famous people and close friends, like Beyoncé, Kim Kardashian, and Anna Wintour, were there. It was a Beauty and the Beast-themed wedding, with a castle-like setting, soft lighting, and even a carousel. Everything else was nice, but what really stood out was how much Serena and Alexis loved each other. They looked at each other, and talked in a way that made it clear that they were in this together. Their relationship has grown stronger since then. They now help each other a lot, and are very close. Alexis has always made it clear that he looks up to Serena, not just for what she has done, but also for how strong she is as a person, a mother, and a partner. He tells her all the time how proud he is of her, and how her hard work and determination make him want to do better. Alexis is always there for her, whether she's at her games, cheering her on from the stands, or helping out with their daughter at home. Their relationship shows that love can grow when both people accept each other's paths, and support each other's goals. Serena and Alexis have found ways to stay grounded, even though they are very busy, and have well-known jobs. They put their family first, and make time for each other. They also always say nice things about each other. They keep showing that their relationship is based on trust, understanding, and real care by going to events together, playing with their daughter, or just taking it easy at home. Their love story isn't just about romance. It's also about working together and respecting each other. Serena and Venus used to play together on the court, and Serena and Venus are a lot like them. It's fun for them to celebrate each other's wins, and help each other grow, no matter how big or small. The health problems that are going on. Few people fully understand what it's like to play professional tennis at the top level for more than 20 years. Serena Williams' trip was full of glory, titles, and points that changed the course of history. It did, however, come with years of mental and physical pain. She had injuries, surgeries, and personal problems that she often kept from the public eye. Even though she had strong serves and tough comebacks, tennis puts a lot of stress on your body. During games, players run, twist, stretch, and hit the ball hard for hours on end. During events, they may do this for days on end. Serena began playing tennis seriously when she was a teenager, and played until she was in her late 30s. Her strong and powerful style of play helped her win, but it also put a lot of stress on her body over time. Over time, the wear and tear caused a number of major injuries. She has had a lot of well-known accidents over the years. During her whole career, her knees have been a big problem. She has had many knee problems, such as tendonitis and soreness, which made her miss events and need time off to get better. She also had trouble with her back, especially as her work went on. She had to pull out of matches sometimes because her back hurt or was stiff. Her shoulder, which was another important part of her strong game, was also hurt. Aside from making it hard for her to play, these problems also made it hard for her to train regularly. That is very important for someone fighting at the highest level. A lot of the time, Serena played through pain, even when she wasn't hurt badly. The kind of pain that won't go away even with rest or medicine became something she had to deal with every day. She had to deal with it in different ways, such as through physical therapy, exercise, and close communication with medical staff. There have been many times when Serena has talked about how she woke up in pain, but still went to the court. People looked up to her because she was so dedicated. It did cost something though. Serena rarely showed signs of breaking under all this stress, but as time went on, she started to talk more freely about how hard it was on her. It can be stressful. People expect a lot from you, and your mind can get tired after being in the focus for so long. More people started talking about mental health in sports because of how honest she was. It showed that even winners have problems with anxiety, doubt, and finding balance. The way Serena has dealt with physical and mental pain shows that being strong doesn't mean never hurting. It means going forward, paying attention to your body, and being brave enough to say when something is wrong. Her struggles were real, but so was her strength. The scary birth experience, not on the tennis court, but in a hospital room in 2017. Serena Williams went through one of the scariest and most life-changing events of her life. In that year, she had her first child, a girl she named Alexis Olympia Ohanian Jr., and loves calling Olympia. Although becoming a mother was a happy event, the birth of Olympia was complicated, scary, and painful. Serena was put to the test in ways she didn't expect. Olympia was born in West Palm Beach, Florida, on September 1, 2017. Serena had hoped for a normal, healthy birth, but things quickly went wrong. Doctors found that while she was having contractions, her baby's heart rate had dropped to a dangerously low level. Due to this quick change, a C-section had to be done right away. Olympia was born healthy, but Serena's health started to get worse almost right away after the surgery. Serena had terrible shortness of breath. Just one day after giving birth, she knew something was wrong, because she had pulmonary embolisms, which are blood clots in the lungs. Serena was used to being in this state. She had been to the hospital in 2011 for a lung embolism, so she knew how bad it could be. This time, she had to say that something was wrong even though she was in a hospital with doctors and nurses all around her. She asked for a CT scan, and something to thin her blood. At first the medical workers didn't think much of her. They thought that her pain might have something to do with the surgery, or something less important. Serena didn't give up though. Doctors finally did a scan, and found that she had several blood clots in her lungs. She got help right away, but that wasn't the end of it. Serena started coughing so hard after being told the news that she tore open her C-section scar. Because of the problems, she had to have more surgeries, including one to stop more blood clots from getting to her lungs. In total, she had several surgeries, and was stuck in bed for 6 weeks after giving birth. It was hard work and tiring to get better. It broke her heart even more because it happened at a time in her life when she was supposed to be having the best time ever. While she should have been bonding with her baby, Serena had to fight for her life. She said it was one of the scariest things that had ever happened to her. It was hard for her to feel happy when she was in so much physical and emotional pain. She said she was thankful to be living though. This event made Serena more aware of a much bigger problem, the risks and difficulties that many women, especially black women, face while giving birth. Black women are almost 3 times more likely than white women to die during pregnancy in the United States. Serena knew that she had to fight to be heard, even though she was famous, rich, and could get the best medical care. It was possible for anyone to have what happened to her. Serena began speaking out about Black mothers' health after she got better. She shared her story in interviews, and in a powerful article in Elle, hoping that it would make people more aware of the problem, and help other people. She talked about how important it is for women to be heard by doctors and nurses, and to speak up for themselves. She also told the medical system to pay more attention to the worries of women, especially those from disadvantaged groups. Serena took a long time to get better physically. After having several surgeries, she had to get stronger again. It wasn't just about making her body better, it was also about getting back on track emotionally after something so terrible happened. It was true that becoming a mom was both beautiful and hard for her. She had times of self-doubt, anger and tiredness, just like many new moms do. She leant on her husband Alexis, and found strength in her love for her daughter through it all. Serena being open about how she gave birth brought attention to a problem that many people don't talk about enough. She didn't just talk about her pain on her stage, she also started important conversations that could save lives. Everyone was reminded by her strength in telling the world what she went through, that even the strongest people have weak moments, and that sometimes the most powerful thing a person can do is ask for help, demand answers, or speak up. The finding of a benign branchial cyst. Serena Williams has always been known for being strong, the kind of strength that helps people win titles, recover from injuries, and get through health scares that could kill them. But no matter how hard things have been in her life and work, nothing can fully prepare someone for the fear that comes with a new health problem. That's what happened when Serena found out she had a branchial cleft cyst that wasn't harmful. Even though it turned out not to be cancer, the experience was upsetting and emotional, and it reminded Serena that even her good health can change at any time. These are the different kinds of growths that can happen on the side of the neck. It comes from tissue that didn't grow properly when the baby was still in the womb. Most of the time, these cysts are not dangerous. However, if the cyst gets bigger, sick or hurtful, it should be checked out and maybe taken out. Serena was shocked and surprised when she found the lump. She chose to get it checked out because she had felt a lump near her neck, because she had had major health problems in the past, like blood clots and the traumatic event after giving birth. Finding something new on her body made sense to make her feel very scared. The natural questions started to come up even before they got a full report. What is this? What's the matter? Does it look like cancer? Am I going to be okay? It had a big effect on my emotions. After the fact, Serena talked about how worried and unsure she was when she first thought something might be wrong. Even though she was brave in public and on the court, she said that her first thoughts were scared. She thought about her future, her kids, and what she would have to deal with next, just like everyone else in that position. In addition, she felt weak, like when you understand all of a sudden how fragile life and health are. It felt good when the doctors said it was a harmless branchial cleft cyst. There was still a lot of emotional weight to the event though. Serena decided to talk about it in public. The public didn't have to know, but she chose to be honest in the hopes that her story would help other people. She talked about how important it is to pay attention to your body, trust your gut when something doesn't feel right, and never be afraid to get medical help. Being honest made a big difference. The term brachial cleft cyst is often unknown until a well-known person talks about it. Serena used her fame to bring attention to the issue, and remember people how important it is to get regular checkups, pay attention to changes in their bodies, and get medical help when something feels wrong. She didn't try to hide how she felt or play down her fear. She instead showed that being strong means being open about the things that are hard for you. Serena's journey with the cyst ended with good news, but it was also another turning point in her life. It made her think more about her life and make changes, especially as she helped someone else deal with their own health problem. Lyme disease was hard for Alexis Ohanian. When people think of Serena Williams and Alexis Ohanian, they often think of strength, success, and a strong relationship. They have had their own private fights though, just like any other couple. These fights happen quietly behind the scenes. The fact that Alexis Ohanian had Lyme disease was one of the hardest health problems they had to deal with together. Serena has had her own health scares over the years, but this time the attention was on Alexis, and they were the ones taking care of her instead of the other way around. Because a sick tick bites you, you can get Lyme disease, which is caused by bacteria. Some parts of the United States have a lot of it,
especially in grassy or wooded places. A fever, tiredness, joint pain, and a red rash that sometimes looks like a circle are all early signs of Lyme disease. There is a condition called chronic Lyme disease, or post-treatment Lyme disease syndrome, that some people get, where they will still be sick even after the bacteria is gone. For Alexis, the diagnosis didn't come right away. He felt tired at first, and didn't know why, which is common in people who have Lyme disease. He was tired, had aches, and had a general sense that something wasn't right. At first, it was easy to think it was just worry or not getting enough sleep. Since he was working, being a dad, and being a good husband, things got worse over time, though making it clear that something more serious was going on. He finally found out he had Lyme disease after a lot of tests and trips to the doctor. The diagnosis changed everything. Alexis started treatment, which for most people means taking medicines to get rid of the infection. Some people answer right away, while others need more time. Recovery can be difficult and hard to plan for, especially when you have signs that don't go away, like brain fog, muscle pain, and being tired all the time. If you're like Alexis and your life moves quickly, it was a big change. He had to take it easy, pay attention to his body, and give himself time to heal, even if that meant taking a break from work or family activities. Serena was by his side the whole time. Alexis had been there for Serena through surgeries, giving birth, and getting better. Now it was her turn to be the strong one in the relationship. She helped him with things like taking care of himself, and telling him to be patient with himself when things got hard. The event added a new dimension to their bond. They had always worked together, but now they had to deal with a new task that tested both their physical and mental health. They chose to be honest about what Alexis was going through as a group. In the same way that Serena had talked about her health scares in the past, Alexis told the world about his Lyme disease experience. He didn't just tell me the truth. When he didn't feel like himself, he talked about how hard it was to work, concentrate, and stay upbeat. He helped clear up a disease that a lot of people don't understand or know much about by being honest. As a pair, they were honest, which made other people who were having health problems feel less alone. Their story shows what it means to be there for each other through good times and bad. It also shows how being sick as a family can change how you see each other, and make things stronger between two people. Serena and Alexis didn't act like everything was fine. They showed that love means being there for each other when things get tough. This is Serena's life after tennis. When 2022 came around, Serena Williams quit competitive tennis for good. Serena and her friends all over the world were moved by the news after she had dominated the sport for more than 20 years. She was famous all over the world for how well she did on the court. She made it clear that her journey wasn't over when she stopped, though. In fact, Serena didn't slow down when she retired. She had to turn her attention to the next part of her life, which would have just as much desire, creativity, and purpose. One of the most important parts of Serena's life after tennis is her job as an investor and businesswoman. It was she who started Serena Ventures, a venture capital company that helps early-stage businesses, especially those run by women and people of color. Serena wanted to make a real difference by putting money into businesses that other investors don't usually look at. As part of Serena Ventures, she has given money to tech, health, education, and other businesses. Her goal isn't just to help businesses grow. She also wants to help make the business world a better place for everyone. Serena has also been busy with clothes. She began making clothes and starting her own fashion lines a long time before she quit. Her style has always been strong and outspoken, and she put that same energy into the clothes she made. Her brand shows that she is sure of herself, strong, and not afraid to be herself. She can be creative in other ways, and connect with friends and customers on a more personal level through her fashion work. Serena has also stayed busy by giving back to the community. She fights for many issues, such as equal rights for Black people, women's rights, and education for poor kids. She has helped build schools, make healthcare easier to get to, and help people in need all over the world. That's always been important to her, and now that she has more time off the court, she's using it to keep helping other people. It is clear that Serena and Alexis have been through some of life's hardest times together, showing love, power, and toughness. If their story moved you, Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to get more real-life stories and news about your favorite stars. Wait for more.